Hello, and welcome to another episode of Fasting Frankie. My goal is to provide you with the very best information I can find on fasting for fat loss. In this video, we discuss the benefits of intermittent fasting. I thought it would be a good idea to list some of the benefits of intermittent fasting, especially for those of you still trying to decide whether or not to give it a try. For some of you, this may be a review. However, if you are deciding whether or not to try intermittent fasting for yourself, I hope this video helps you make that decision. As some of you know, I've incorporated fasting into my life and I haven't looked back. I've experienced some of the very benefits I'm going to share with you in just a few moments. With that being said, let's jump right into the first benefit. Benefit number one, weight loss. If I'm being honest, this was the motivating factor for starting intermittent fasting. I was tired of being overweight, and weight loss, specifically fat loss, was why I started. Little did I realize intermittent fasting would bring additional benefits with it. Since this is probably one of the more popular benefits, I'll spend a couple of minutes on this particular fasting benefit. I'm not going to do a deep dive into the science behind why intermittent fasting is a great fat loss tool. However, I will say this: eating many meals a day is constantly spiking insulin levels. Reducing our meals and/or the window of time we eat those meals will eventually allow our bodies to use our fat stores. The way I understand it is that the body has the choice to use its fat stores for energy or use the food we just consumed as energy. If fat loss is your goal, of course, we want to consume food in a manner that will allow us to benefit from fat loss during our fasting time. What's amazing is that it shouldn't take long for your body to make that switch from burning your food intake as fuel to its stored fat as energy. This is when I began to see accelerated results. It's important to remember that intermittent fasting isn't a diet. It is quite possible that your goals for starting intermittent fasting are not necessarily centered around weight loss, and that you're incorporating IF as part of your overall plan to improve your health. If you are in that group looking to shed fat through IF, then I suggest you consider finding the diet you think will work best. I have decided to follow a low-carb diet, and many others have used keto and carnivore as their diet plan of choice. Of course, do your own research on those diets to see if they're right for you. This is probably a good time to tell you that fasting isn't for everyone and that you should consult a medical professional to ensure it is safe for you to start intermittently fasting. Okay, so with that being said, I feel that my low-carb diet, exercise, and intermittent fasting together are what brought me the numerous health benefits I've experienced over the past few months. The good news is that if you can't exercise due to an injury or some other reason, you can still achieve success through intermittent fasting and diet alone. Many have done just that. In short, intermittent fasting, in my opinion, is an excellent way to lose fat. On to the next benefit. I told you a few moments ago that weight loss was the motivating factor for me to start intermittently fasting, and that is true. However, a close second was just getting healthy. I'm married with two small kids, and I need to stick around a little longer, so my health was definitely at the front of my mind. I am more conscious of my health than I was in the past. I'll share a quick story with you. I used to donate blood a few times a year. However, the last time I attempted to donate blood, they didn't draw any because my blood pressure was too high. I never had any issues with that in the past, so I wasn't too concerned. However, every time I have gotten my blood pressure checked since, it's been high. So I guess I have high blood pressure now. When I researched the potential dangers of high blood pressure, I decided I would do something about it. I purchased my blood pressure monitor and would check it often. What I noticed was now that I began fasting, my blood pressure has begun to drop into a more acceptable range. I wanted to lose fat, and now I feel like my heart health is getting better due to the better blood pressure readings. When I started intermittent fasting, I didn't expect improved brain health to be a benefit. However, it is. Believe me, I can use all the help in this area I can get. You may be asking, how do you measure brain health? If I can draw your attention to the slide, you will see the words cognitive function in bold. You will have to take my word on this one, but I just feel clearer and more focused. I used to complain that I was so busy and didn't have time for anything. At times, I would feel overwhelmed. Yes, there were times in my life I was really busy, and it was difficult to get things done. However, how often was that an excuse? I'm still busy. However, I feel more focused. I think more clearly. For example, I started this channel, and some may say it's not that hard to start a YouTube channel. It may not be difficult, but it does take time and effort. I credit my increased focus and passion for sharing this message for the creation of this channel. Inflammation is another benefit you'll have to take my word on. It's not as easy to measure as, say, weight loss or blood pressure. However, I do notice that the area around my gut feels so relaxed. I don't have that constant bloated feeling as I did before starting IF. I honestly think that the high carb diet I was on was one of the causes for that. When you start fasting and losing fat, you'll probably lose water along with the fat. This will cause you to feel lighter for obvious reasons. I also believe that because the area I was losing the most weight in was my belly or gut, it just felt like a major improvement in that part of my body. My midsection just felt better. I felt lighter. My digestion seemed much better, probably because I had finally given it a break from all those years of working overtime. The combination of all three things will give you that lighter feeling, and your gut may feel much better. At least that's what I'm experiencing. Experts say inflammation is linked to chronic diseases, so yet another reason to give intermittent fasting a try. Once again, metabolism isn't something as easy or as tangible as weight loss to measure, but I do feel like I have more energy. I get up early and I'm starting my day. I've been exercising, I've been walking much more than I have in the past. If you look at the slide, you'll see I have blood sugar control highlighted. When I first started fasting, I used the 16-8 method. After a few weeks, I transitioned to OMAD, one meal a day. I was able to do this because my blood sugar levels were much more stable and I could increase the time between meals. I felt completely in control and my appetite was not an issue. I've been able to complete a 48-hour and a 60-hour fast recently due to my blood sugar stabilizing. Fortunately, I do not have diabetes. However, over 500 million people worldwide do. Experts say intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting have helped diabetics improve their A1C numbers. I recently had some blood work and I was told that my A1C was 5.6. The only reason I knew what A1C was is because I constantly see commercials for drugs that are helping diabetics improve their numbers. Although I am not a diabetic, the A1C number is high, at least that's what I was told. I'm hoping the longer I continue incorporating intermittent fasting into my day, I'll be able to lower the number just like I did my blood pressure. Another behind the scenes benefit of IF is autophagy. Autophagy is a process that keeps your body's cells in proper balance by taking old or damaged components in a cell and recycling them. The recycled parts are turned into amino acids that can be used for fuel or to form new proteins. I found this article on a website called verywellhealth.com. The article also goes on to say autophagy is triggered when the body is starved of energy, such as can occur with exercise, calorie restriction, fasting, or a keto diet. This is one of those benefits I'll research and talk about more in the future. I guess it is no surprise that with all the benefits we just discussed, longevity is a benefit of fasting as well. I guess I'll have to wait to see how this one plays out. However, if all the markers I've shared with you, such as the weight loss, the blood pressure, and the A1C, keep trending in the right direction, then increased longevity seems to be a logical benefit of fasting. If you watched my first video, my weight loss journey through intermittent fasting, I told you one of my goals was to curate the very best content I can find and, of course, share it with you. I found an article on healthline.com titled 10 Ways to Boost Human Growth Hormone Naturally. As you can see from the slide, HGH plays a role in fat metabolism, muscle growth, and overall health. I'd like to share some excerpts from the article. Studies show that fasting leads to a major increase in HGH levels. One recent study of 47 people found that HGH levels increased fivefold during a 24-hour fast. Other older studies have demonstrated increased HGH secretion after 2 or 5 day fast. The article also goes on to say intermittent fasting can alter HGH levels in two main ways. First, it can help decrease body fat, which directly affects HGH production. Second, it'll keep your insulin levels low for most of the day as insulin is released when you eat. Research suggests that insulin spikes can disrupt your hormone signaling. Once again, that was pulled from an article titled 10 Ways to Boost Human Growth Hormone Naturally. Okay, so in closing, I just want to bring up a few things before I let you go. The results are going to vary. With diet, the one thing I will say with diet is I have heard people say they intermittent fast or they prolong fast, and then when they do eat, they eat whatever they want. I'm choosing to have a low carb diet or a lower carb diet. I'm also going to explore keto as well, possibly carnivore, maybe not for long periods of time. Maybe I'll experiment between and bounce back and forth just to see how I feel and how my body reacts. But basically, in short, what I'm trying to say is I also chose to eat healthy or chose a diet that I felt was going to help me along with IF. You will see if you do research, you watch other YouTubers, other people will say that they eat whatever they want. I just wanted to say I'm not doing that. Some of you may have a health condition that may preclude you from fasting. I would definitely consult a healthcare professional before you start fasting, because I know there are certain situations where people shouldn't fast. So I would definitely research that and make sure, check with your medical professional or healthcare professional and make sure it's okay to fast. So it's important. I just wanted to throw that out there. I do want to see you succeed, but I want you to succeed and be healthy at the same time. Okay? And there you have it. I hope you found this video helpful, especially if you were weighing the decision to start incorporating intermittent fasting into your lifestyle. I have benefited from IF, and I hope the examples I gave throughout the video provided you some motivation to give intermittent fasting a try. If you found value in this video, I would love it if you'd liked and subscribed to the channel. Also, make sure to consult with a healthcare professional before starting any fasting program. I'll see you in the next video.